I mean, I like that you've like what you've got as a negotiating chip in doing a deal with with someone that's of the size that you want is pretty cool because you have something to bring to the table.
If I had to do it over, I think I probably bought too small, but the facts are is I already got into this. So, having to hire 8 people, fire 4, basically took on 2 offices because I acquired that second one on an earnout. And so taking some time to consolidate expenses, everything is kind of a little bit of a challenge. So I guess what I'm wondering is now that I'm finding myself in the business instead of on top of the businesses, it makes it very hard to kind of do a lot of the stuff that I liked about doing more deals and then growth through acquisition. So what's the is there like a couple of things that I might be able to do to either um, find either do I just try to sell everything and then start over, or do I
That's a really good question. That was the advice I gave Christopher because Christopher was very, very excited. One of our coaches, for those of you who don't know, but he was very excited and did like 12 or 14 acquisitions within a very, very short period of time. And then they were all very, very small. And we talked about what it might look to get them all together. And he ultimately decided that he was really happy to have had the experience, but then it gave him clarity on where he wanted to go. So he sold those and went on to do bigger deals. But so I guess it just depends because I love the space that you're in. Are you thinking of staying in the same space? Just like, you've got 2 mom and poppy to work with initially, and so you feel like it's just taking too much time and you need a bigger one? Or could you focus on acquiring a larger one now and then roll these into that, or roll the clients into it and just cash out the people that are on earnout or something like that? Otherwise, it would be get an operator that can do that stuff for you, because it's really, I think the integration at the level that you're talking about is really just a really good operator or even manager, like a practice manager. So that's probably my first question is which of those options sounds interesting based on the size of the businesses that you've got now and what you think the potential is?
well, it seems like with those 2 options, those are I guess either of those would work, and I would be equally as interested, whichever one was like, I guess, first available or easier to put together.
I mean, I like that you've like what you've got as a negotiating chip in doing a deal with with someone that's of the size that you want is pretty cool because you have something to bring to the table. And then you would inherit the operator from the business that you were going into that was a little bit bigger, that did meet kind of your revised acquisition criteria. So if you're in the same industry, unless you're losing money on the ones you've got right now, I don't think that I would give them up. I think I would use them as a chip to make you even more appealing to do a deal with a larger player that met your revised acquisition criteria. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So, and then to do that, it would be the same like the same path that I did for the acquisition. Just get the list, have the conversation, and then it would be either an acquisition or a merger.
Or a CFE with bringing to the table. I've done those deals too. So like I'm okay bringing assets to the table when I know that the place that I'm going to put those assets is going to make them worth more. And it makes you even more appealing to the person you're doing the deal with. So I think it's good for any of those 3 potential options.